All right. Good evening, Inspired Beauty. So many faces on tonight. I'm so excited. This is I've got some great content planned for you guys, all about mindset. This month was Bosstober. We've got about 10 more days left of our Bosstober month, and lots of people have set great goals for themselves, whether it was to finish maybe a program that you started, or it was to finish a training series that you began. Maybe one of your goals was to hit Success Club. Maybe one of your goals was to hit one of the rungs on the Make Your Mark challenge. So many different goals, maybe to go emerald, maybe to go emerald again. I don't know. There's so many different faces and stories and walks on your journey on this Zoom tonight, but we all have goals. And throughout the month, throughout Bosstober, I've been giving like boss snippets, like how to be a boss at this, how to be a boss at that. And ultimately, you guys, none of that matters if your mind isn't in the right place. If you aren't fostering belief, and if you aren't fostering a mindset that believes that you can actually achieve these things and more. So whether it's your self-care that you're like hitting this brick wall over and over again with, we've got to foster belief and work on the mindset to get to the other side of that. Or maybe for you right now, your brick wall is Success Club. You know, the benchmarks of the business, the basic benchmarks of the business, maybe that's the brick wall you're hitting. I promise you that a switch in mindset is going to help it all. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Before I dive in, I do have something really exciting to share with you guys. And that is that Summit tickets got dropped on Saturday through the end of the month to $145. And you guys probably got this email sent from Beachbody Corporate into your inbox. You probably saw that. You probably saw on the team page, people talking about that. Rachel Hollis, author of Girl Wash Your Face. She is also going to have a book coming out in March called Girl Stop Apologizing. She will literally be there in person as one of our keynote speakers. Guys, $145 to get to hear her speak. I just got her email this morning about her Rise conference that happens typically once a year. In 2019, it's going to be in Minneapolis. And I just got the email that tickets are going to go on sale fairly soon, in about 2 weeks here. And I looked at the ticket prices, you guys. To go see her speak for a weekend engagement, we're talking like $1,800. You're going to get to hear her speak for $145. So even if you're like, oh, I don't need to go to Coach Summit, like that's not my thing, growing your mindset is your jam. Like that should be your jam, just as a human being walking this planet, wanting to better yourself day in and day out. So this is my promise to you. This is what I will give. And I already have somewhere in front of me, there's a pile of books that I don't want to hit the ground because I need those later. I already have a list, you guys. Last year we had 12 people who signed up to attend Summit, and of those 12 people, 10 of them went. Okay? So I stared Natalie straight in the face at Summit last summer, and I said, we're going to have 50 people at Summit. And she's like, you're crazy. We don't even have 50 people on our team. And I was like, Natalie, no, you're crazy, because we're going to have 50 people at Summit. Watch me. And so, so my heartbeat right now is to, by the end of the month, by October 31st, have 20 people signed up and registered to attend Summit 2019 in Indianapolis, Indiana. That's where the party's going to be at. Currently, if you guys want some stats, we currently have 15 people on our team who are enrolled. So what does that mean? In the next 2 weeks or week and a half, we need 5 people to say yes. And I already, 15 adds on Elizabeth, who just bought her ticket this weekend. So we're sitting pretty at 15. That's me, my husband, Leah, Heather, Kaylee, Natalie, Amanda Majewski, Allison Mitchell, Aaron Whaley, Lindsay, Mary, Allison Oliver, Kristen, Elizabeth, Kayla. That's who we have so far. It's going to be a trip, you guys. Last summer was incredible. And this summer, it's just going to keep getting better. And the more people that come, the more exciting opportunities we can offer, such as this one right here. Anyone by November 1st who has their Summit 2019 ticket purchased and paid for and ready to go, I will gift you a Team Inspire Beauty decal for your shaker cup. So it says team, your name, that it's going to look like that, but I wanted to show you them in real action, what it looks like when it's actually on the shaker bottle. It won't say Rise and Shine. That's not our team, but that is another team that was at Indy last year. You can see the statue in the middle of downtown there, where we actually did a live workout outside with all of your favorite super trainers. It was insane. That place was flooded, like shoulder to shoulder people trying to like do workout stuff. But anyway, it's going to look like that. Probably the color will, you know me, it'll probably be a shade of pink, of course. But Team Inspire Beauty, you will get that gift if you have said yes to Summit. I want to give back to you and say thank you. I can't wait to spend time with you there. And so let's rally, you guys. If you've been to Summit before or you already have your ticket, like get on the team page and really start talking about why. What's the value in $145? What's the value in getting to a live event? Right? What's the value in getting to hear a keynote speaker like Rachel Hollis, plus getting to do live workouts with every super trainer you have? And the coolest thing is this year they are catering the training seminars to where you're at in the business. So if you're somebody who you're like, I just love the discount, I love the products, there is a track for you. They're going to cater to you. If you're like, okay, I kind of want to dabble in this, but I don't really know what to do, there's going to be a track for you. So there's training tracks that are geared towards where you're at in the business and where you want to go. And so that's really cool and unique this year too. So it's not going to be this thing where you go and if you don't love, like if you're not trying to run a business, it's not going to be beneficial for you. No, yes, it will. So anyway, so far I got those 15 names locked and loaded. I'm waiting and anticipating and excited to gift, hopefully, 20 people by the end of this month a decal for their shaker bottle to rep our team at Summit. Okay, let's really dive in. So before we even discuss mindset and maybe that inner mean girl and dialogue, we're going to really talk about her tonight a lot. Before we even talk through that, you guys, I do have to talk to you about belief. And I'm posing this question. Do you truly believe in what you're doing? And with that comes 3 types of belief. I believe that we have belief in the company and the products, right? So, you know, we do Shift Shop. We get results. We believe in Shift Shop. We believe in Chris Downing. We ultimately believe in Beachbody. We drink Shakeology. It curbs our craving. We start to feel maybe better digestion happening. Maybe we get off medications. I've seen that happen even with my own mother do that. Maybe, you know, you drink Energize and all of a sudden you've kicked this like coffee, caffeine habit to the curb because you don't have to have your morning cup of joe every day. You can do a workout and get just as energized with some green tea, plant-based stuff right before it. Yeah. So you can get belief in the company. I think that's one of the easiest places to find belief in this business is with the company because the products really will do exactly what they're supposed to do if you use them properly, right? The next type of belief is in your team. Ultimately, right now, Inspire Beauty, but some of you as leaders are growing teams of your own. One day, I would love for you to have team names, your own team pages, your own team freaking swag, like you're hosting Zooms for your own teammates, right? So your team and beyond. Do you have belief? Like, why did you join Inspire Beauty? Why did you join your upline coach who maybe is the part of Inspire Beauty and you're a branch of it downward, right? Like, what was it that drew you to that? And maybe it was originally the company and you just wanted the discount on the products, but what keeps you coming back? Why are you on a Zoom like this? Or if you're not on live, why are you listening in? You must have some sort of belief in what our team is doing and where we're going. And man, oh man, do I have belief in where we're going. Absolutely. And the last one, which I think is probably ultimately the most challenging, is the belief in yourself, that you can actually show up and do the work and take action and make it happen, right? So those are the 3 types of belief that I kind of want to touch upon tonight mostly. And with, you know, that question I posed about, do you truly believe in what you're doing? Similarly, could you stand up on a stage? If I asked you, go stand on a stage at Summit and share about what you do with 100% total conviction, could you do that? Could you stand on stage and say, I'm a coach because blank, or I love Beachbody because blank? Do you have the belief with like 100% of your blood, sweat, and tears? Here's the deal though, you guys. It's okay if today you're sitting on the Zoom and you don't have it. It's okay. I don't want this question to scare you and be like, well, I don't have that. So like, now what, right? Here's the deal. I didn't have belief when I began. I might not have even had belief, to some extent a year into my business. There were still times in my business where I probably hit walls and thought to myself, do I really believe in what I'm doing, right? So the belief in myself. But there are ways that we can foster this belief. And these are some of the things that helped me quickly get wins to foster belief for myself. Okay. Completing a Beachbody On Demand program from start to finish. My very first program that I completed was Insanity. I didn't document a thing of it because I didn't even know what Beachbody was, y'all. I thought it was like this thing where you had to have a beach body. Didn't know about it. But I knew that I did Insanity start to finish, and I was shocked by my progress, right? That was awesome. But I didn't really believe in Beachbody as a business builder yet, right? Because I was just on the product side of things. Then I joined Beachbody, you guys. I actually purchased T25. If you don't know my story, I ended up purchasing the T25 challenge pack when I went all in and said yes to being a coach. I did it all at the same time. I swiped my credit card. I had no business paying that kind of money. At the time, I was in serious debt, but I was like, I will find a will and a way, and I swiped a credit card, and that's how I got my journey going. T25 came in the mail, and I didn't do it. I got started in October, and I didn't do T25 till like May of the following year. But in the meantime, I was also marathon training, and 21 Day Fix came out, and I actually did complete that program before I completed my original program that I had gotten, right? It's so important. It wasn't until I did 21 Day Fix, T25, and then PIO came out. I did that, but it wasn't until I did Chalene Extreme, which was a weightlifting program. And I documented my progress on that one, because with everything else I didn't do befores and afters, I didn't want to do any of that stuff. But it wasn't until I committed to documenting my journey out loud on social media that I was able to say, dang, this stuff really works. And that's when I first remember having like a deep belief in the company that I represented. And I spoke differently on social media because of it. I had a different conviction. So I wasn't trying to sell someone on something. All of a sudden it just became like as if I was sharing a book I love, or sharing a new headband I found, or a new pair of leggings, or a really great color for your nails, right? It just was a lot easier to talk about it. I think in order to foster belief sometimes too, I found that surrounding myself with people who were where I wanted to be helped me to be in that spot. It allowed me to feed off their belief. And I know today you might be like, well, I don't have anybody around me that's where I want to be right now. But the internet is a great thing, you guys. And we are so connected that you can go follow a coach that is where you want to be, right? And feed off their belief in the company and in what they're doing. Surrounding yourself doesn't have to be physically in front of you. You can have mentors from afar. And then paying it forward to others. Once I started to see my clients have success, man, that fostered so much more belief in not only the products and the programs that Beachbody sells, but also in my capability to coach someone. And then now as I'm watching people on our team have success, it's fostering a new belief in me that maybe I can coach other people to be coaches. Right? And so I'm actually now in my business getting a whole new layer of belief adding on to where I've already been. So it starts with belief. Anything I'm going to talk about mindset-wise tonight, if you don't have belief, at least in the products or in our team, or maybe just a tad bit in yourself, right? If you have all that, but you still have that inner mean girl, that inner dialogue, well, like now what? Right? So now I want to tackle you've got to have that belief. If I've gotten to this point and you're like, I don't believe in any of this stuff, well, sister friend, I don't know what to tell you, except go try to do a program from start to finish, get a couple clients on deck with you, sign up a couple coaches, and then see if you don't believe in this. Get yourself to Summit next year and then see if you don't believe in this. The more you immerse yourself in this community and in what we have, the more you'll find belief in it. But at this point, if you have that belief, if you're like, you know what, I do, Brittany, like I get it. I'm like drinking the Kool-Aid. I love it. You have that, but you still have that inner dialogue. Well, like now what? So let's tackle, I've got a list of different areas that I believe in your mindset really will help you to tackle obstacles tough times, those moments when you just want to be super negative or throw in the towel. I really think that these have been areas that have allowed me to flourish in my mindset and in my business, essentially. So choosing love over fear is the first one. Guys, we all have this voice in our head. We all have this inner mean girl. You're not the exception to the rule that you don't have one. And you're also, on the flip side, not the exception that you potentially are the only one with that voice. You're the only one who struggles with an inner mean girl. No, no, no. The difference is, though, it's what we choose to do with the voice, and it's having an awareness that it's actually there. So for me, it's not that I never have moments of fear. It's not that I never have moments of doubt. It's not that I never have that inner dialogue that tears me down. Oh man, it's there. Trust and believe it's there. But it's an awareness I've created that when I hear it going off, I can stop it in its tracks. And if I can't stop it in its tracks, I know some maybe coping mechanisms that I can do. And one of them is to choose love in that moment. A no, getting a no from somebody, a setback in your business, somebody quitting. Been there, done that, y'all. Had that happen. I mean, I have that happen all the time. Those are things that do not define you unless you let them. And I think a lot of times when someone quits or someone tells us no, or we face a brick wall or a setback in our business, we think to ourselves, I'm a failure. I've heard that a lot lately. I'm a failure. Guys, from the time you breathed air and life on this planet to today, you're saying every moment up to that, you and your entirety are a failure. First of all, get over your damn self. Like, let's be real. Like, there's a lot more to you than just that one no or that one missed opportunity or whatever it was, right? Those things don't define you, but the more we tell ourselves, I'm a failure, I'm a failure, I'm a failure, you're allowing that to define you. So that's not choosing love over fear. Choosing love is speaking kind to yourself. I like to ask myself, how would I lovingly speak to someone right now? If I were to talk to a coach on my team and they brought this same issue to me, how would I speak to them? What would I say to them? If one of my clients brought me this same frustration, how would I speak to them? How would I guide them? What would I say to them? And the more that we can stop ourselves in our tracks whenever fear takes over or stress or that mean girl, and we can stop it in its tracks, be aware of it, let it go, and then start speaking kinder to ourselves, the quicker that we're going to be able to flick that mindset. And also fostering a mindset that becomes stronger, right? In the beginning, it won't be easy. In the beginning, you might catch yourself doing it all freaking day long, and it could be exhausting. But as you get better and better at it, those periods of staying in the love zone versus the fear zone, they'll be longer. The next thing I like to think about is letting passion take the wheel. First of all, you guys, how we treat ourselves, whether it's inner dialogue, whether it's the way we eat, the way our workout routine, our self-care in general, the way we treat ourselves is a direct reflection of how we feel about ourselves. So if I'm looking at someone who is passionate about the work she does, she's surrounded by good people that lift her up and encourage her. When she looks at her worthy-o-meter, right? Like she's looking at how worthy she is and how enough she is, she puts herself at a 10 on that meter consistently. That person is going to treat her body differently and treat herself ultimately differently than someone who hates their job, feels like the world's against them, surrounds themselves with unhealthy relationships, toxic relationships, and constantly entertains her mean girl. So those, if I had two women side by side comparison, there would be a stark difference in how they just behave on a daily basis, how they fuel their bodies, how they act about doing a workout, how they feel about posting on social media, because one of them is not living in this like fear bubble, right? The one that's constantly entertaining her mean girl, she's never going to post on social media. So before I even talk about passion, it's like how you feel about yourself, you guys, is reflected in every choice you make and every action you take. And so if you have a mindset that you can't do this, or that, someone is better than you, or that she just doesn't have to deal with X, Y, and Z, if you have that, all the choices you make, all of the actions you're taking in your business or in your self-care are going to be a direct reflection of it. Of course, you're not going to take great massive action on inviting people when you're talking so negatively to yourself, right? So talking about passion, guys, we're all here, I believe, on this planet to do good work we love to do, sharing our gifts with the world. I think we all have a unique purpose on this planet, and I think we're called to live that out. And you might be sitting here today and you're like, I have literally no clue, Britt, what my purpose is on this planet. And that could send you into an absolute crisis. But here's the deal, you guys. Discover what lights you up. In this business, I know it's shakes. I know it's workouts. I know we sell a challenge pack. I know there's, like, I get all that, but there is so much more depth to that than just that surface layer right there. I'm passionate, you guys. I'm passionate about connecting people to each other that then sparks this like beautiful energy. I love seeing you guys interact as teammates and getting to meet one another. One of the things I hated was when I'd have challenge groups and I knew everybody and I knew. Can you guys hear me? Am I back? Okay. I think it's still recording. What a bummer. I'm just going to go where I think I left off at. I used to hate with like challenge groups or in the team where I knew everybody. I knew their beautiful gifts. I knew what they were passionate about. I knew their family by name. I knew what they did for work. I knew what their goals were. And I hated that they didn't know that about each other, especially on the team. I hated that about Inspire Beauty for a long time. And I wanted to figure out, how do I get people to know about each other and not it just be Brittany to everyone, but this whole community where we can all kind of become family. And I think it happens when we start to discover the unique gifts that everybody has and everybody brings them to the table. So I love creating. I love creating images, graphics, content. I love creating. And that's what I'm passionate about. So when I find myself getting stuck in this like mean girl place, or my mindset's not quite right, or like, I don't want to invite anybody else, I get back behind what I'm passionate about and I let that take the wheel and drive my day. There's two choices when you're struggling, you guys. We can either change it or we can accept it, but both changing your behavior or accepting it require you to quit complaining about it. And I know that could be like a harsh gut check at times, but if we're going to stop complaining and just accept something as is, first of all, I find that to be a big shame. I don't think anyone actually wants to do that, but I think that should give you some mojo and some motivation to, if there's something that you don't like, change it and let your passion take control there. I wanted to talk also, because I think we get in a mindset where like, I don't want somebody, I feel bad that they have to pay money for what I'm doing, or I feel bad that I'm charging somebody, or I feel bad when they ask me how much, and we get in this like, some of us get stuck in this money energy exchange thing, and that's probably something you learned growing up, but know that your work and your service is valuable. I mean, think about a time in your life when something was free. For example, for me, I can think of like McDonald's Happy Meals, and you got those free toys in them, right? I played with that toy maybe for the ride home, maybe a little bit while I was eating my McDonald's when I got home, maybe that night, and then someone stepped on it, it was broken, or it got like shoved to the bottom of something, right? Like those McDonald's toys had no value. I did not value them because they were free. But then I think about a time in my life when a toy cost money. For example, Skip It. I don't know if anybody remembers Skip It, but if you are an 80s baby, Skip It was my jam, and I needed a freaking hot pink Skip It as a child because I saw the commercial and that was it. I had to work my butt off to earn the money to buy a Skip It. And I'll never forget the day that my mom walked me to Toys R Us and I got to walk in and I got to get the Skip It, and I brought it home and I freaking skipped it like it was my job for days. I skipped it so hard, you guys, that like, you know how like it had the little numbers that would go to tell you how many times you skipped it around? Like that thing was like broke as a joke. Like I didn't even know how many times I skipped it because like it hit the cement so many times so hard that that thing got joggled and broken. But I pulled so much. I hope you can hear in my voice how much more I pulled from that experience of owning that than I did from any single McDonald's toy I ever got in a Happy Meal. When you put money into it, you're going to pull something out of it, right? And this is as if I'm speaking to your customers. Like if your customer doesn't have an energetic exchange of money, like they're not putting energy into the exchange, then they're not going to value what they're receiving. So you could give your heart and your soul and everything to your challenge groups, and you could give your all to it. But if somebody only got Beachbody On Demand and they didn't invest in the full challenge pack, they are probably not deeply valuing what they're receiving in the group on the same level than somebody who, like me, when I started, didn't have the money, but I swiped that credit card because I knew my life freaking depended on it. You deserve to be paid. I'm just saying that clear as day. You deserve to be paid. If you're running challenge groups, if you're trying to earn money and make this a business, and you're posting on social media and you're putting time and effort into your content and to the delivery of what you have to offer, then you deserve to be paid. But I will also say, you guys, that what you put out, you get back in return. So if you want to do or have or be more, you have to first become and give more. And that's where growing your mindset is so important. It's so important so that when somebody does tell you no, you don't give up, but you've become so much more in your growth process that you know that no doesn't mean forever or that you suck. That no just means they're not ready today. And you put them on your follow-up list, and then you go immediately and you find someone else who might need what your service provides because it's valuable. If we don't believe that our work and our service is valuable, when someone tells us no, we'll turn right around and say, this isn't for me. Nobody wants to sign up. I can't do this. But if you know without a doubt that your energy, your commitment to helping other people, your creation of meal planners, maybe your content, whatever it is that you're like, this is my jam, this is my expertise, this is what I give people in our challenge groups. If you know without a doubt that that's valuable, then you're going to want to go give that to someone else that's ready to receive it. Okay? Another part of our mindset, and this is coming from Control Freak USA. Like I have had a tight grip my entire life on controlling things, and I've had to loosen that grip and let go. I think sometimes we get stuck. Let me just make sure. Sometimes we get stuck on the idea that we can control the outcome from other people. We could ultimately control if somebody's going to join our challenge group. We can control if someone's going to go diamond on our downline. We can control if someone will show up to summit. No, we can't control any of these things. So stop trying to control others, you guys. And I think sometimes that's the biggest fear I'm hearing, is that people are so afraid of other people's opinions and their rejection and their what they think of them. If you can't be your true, authentic self to the people that are around you, I'm going to give you some really tough knowledge tonight. Those aren't your people. I spent a long time in my life being surrounded by people that did not lift me up, by people who belittled me, degraded me, used me. And I kept myself in that loop for a long time because I didn't know how to get out. But then I started growing my mindset. I started reading books that I'm going to share with you. And I started seeing that I had something to offer and that I wasn't worth being belittled or degraded or used by other people. So you have to know that when you do reveal yourself authentically to others, first of all, if those people aren't accepting you, they're not your people. But you also have to understand that when you do that, you are exposing yourself now to criticism. And it's normal. It is so normal. There's 3 types of people that you're speaking to every time you go to post, you guys. There's people who are raving fans of you. They follow you every day. They love your content. They believe in you. They agree on a lot of things with you, and maybe they have a lot in common with you. Those are your people, right? The second category is people who just dislike you. They don't like what you're selling. They don't like what you're stinking with. You know what I'm saying? And the third is people who just don't care. They're neutral. And the thing is, all 3 of those people will see your stuff at some point. Their opinions will come out into being at some point, right? But your job is not to show up for number 2, the people who dislike you. Your job isn't to show up for the people who don't care or they're neutral. Your job every day is to show up for your raving fans, because that's your tribe. So every time you go to post, don't think about what about the people that the naysayers or the person that's going to, say this or that or have an opinion. That's not who I'm posting for. I'm posting for this person right here that needs me, that is my tribe, that is my raving fan, that's going to follow me no matter what. Right? Opinions don't matter, you guys. Show up anyway. Next one is foster relationships, you guys. This goes right along with this. So if you're so worried about the opinions and then you've got all these naysayers and the people who are criticizing you, unfortunately, you're going to have to start phasing some of those people out. I mean, really. Because as you grow in your mindset, those people you're not going to see eye to eye with those people anymore. And you might have already feel some tension in some of your relationships based on maybe what you've done so far in your growth here in your time with Inspire Beauty. And I believe that the top 5 relationships that are in your life, if right now I told you take pen and paper and write down the 5 people that you are most surrounded by every day. Like, take a second and think about that. Who are the 5 people that you spend the most time with? My list is ever evolving and changing. It's funny, I actually went back and read the last set of 5 I wrote, and that's not even valid anymore, and that was maybe like 4 or 5 months ago. So it's always evolving and shaping and moving, and that's okay. But those 5 people are a reflection of you. And so if you're looking at that list and you're like, ooh, like that person's attitude's not right, that person's got a problem, this person, like, you better just point those fingers right on back, sister, because those are you too, because we become the top 5 people we spend our time with. And so who you spend the most time with is an indicator of who you're becoming. And again, maybe you don't have those nurturing relationships right in front of you. Find them from afar. That's what I had to cling to. I had to cling to sisters from afar that I was like, man, I aspire to be like them one day. Or that lifted me up, right? Guys, your time and energy and space, just everything about you is very precious. And so be careful who you give that to. If they're not lifting you up, they don't deserve to have that time, that energy, and that space. And that's all about boundaries. We've talked about that a lot on our book club, and I'm looking for a book to read maybe in the new year talking more about boundaries, because I think that that's a subject we can all really dive into and maybe relate on with having some deep struggles with. But it does come back to setting those boundaries. If they're not worth that time, energy, and space, you've got to put an arm's length out and set some boundaries. Okay, and the last thing, you guys, and you knew I was going to say this tonight at some point, right? Like, when we're talking about mindset, personal development, like, I'm pretty sure you're stunned that it wasn't the first slide I gave you, but it's because I wanted to share with you some of the books that have helped me. And your mindset, you guys, is just like your fitness. It's a journey. So you're not broken. I don't want you to sit here and think, oh my gosh, I'm so broken, or I need to be fixed. Like, you're not broken. You don't need to be fixed, but you can wake up every day and show up to being the best you there is. I read a book and I'll learn stuff and I'll apply it, only to, like, 2 months down the road, totally do something in the wrong direction and be like, well, what was that for? But it's all a journey. It's all about learning in the process. Like, that didn't make me feel good. That did. I'm going to do that more often, right? So a couple of the books, you guys, that I am in love with. This one's called Mastering Your Mean Girl. It is by Melissa Ambrosini. It's really good. This one is called I Am That Girl by Alexis Jones. It's really good too. The one we're currently reading does talk a lot about mindset, being boss. Shameless plug for book club. We'll be talking about chapter 2 this week. Do your homework. And then on my Kindle, I've got a lot over here. A lot of you have read. Oh. Eee. A lot of you have read Girl Wash Your Face, but I just want to show you the cover just in case you haven't. Where can I tilt it? Like that, maybe. Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hall. She is, again, shameless plug, coming to Summit. Get your tickets if you want your decal. What else? The Self-Love Experiment. I'm just going to tilt this. You can't see them because they're so tiny. The Self-Love Experiment is one that we also read in a book club this last year. You may have read it with us already, maybe not. Let's see. There we go. Self-Love Experiment. This one's good. And then we've got Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. If you are in this business and you find yourself going on a roller coaster of emotions on a daily basis, A, it's normal, but B, this book is written just for you. It's called The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster by Darren Hardy. Really good. Super good. Makes you feel less crazy. And then the last one that I wanted to share with you is Girl Code. Let me see. It's got like a little barcode on it. Where are you at, Girl Code? Here it is. There it is. Girl Code. That's also a really good one. So the more that I've immersed myself in personal development, just like my fitness, every time I do a new program, I get better. I get more athletic. I pick up a new program and I shock myself at my progress, right? All this good stuff. So I think, personal development is very similar where every time we pick up a new book, or even if we go to reread a new book, I'm laughing. R.I.P. Toys R Us. I can see your chat now. Every time we pick up a new book, it's like we're just peeling that layer back and like pouring just that much more into ourselves. So that's it from me. Less than a minute. I want to catch a photo before I let anyone speak. So fix your face. Mary, I'm so excited to see you on tonight. I'm about to cry. Don't cry, Britt. Hold it in. Okay. I was actually thinking of you today. I'll say in a second. 3, 2, 1, smile. Yay. Mary, I was thinking about you because I was holding my wallet today. I was walking home with my wallet, and I was like, thinking about Mary close to my heart because she's got a very similar wallet to mine.
It's true. And one more week of band.
Yeah. You're doing fabulous, though, so I'm really proud of you. So proud of you. Oh, dang, Sarah, summits during your birthday. Okay, that's what I'm saying. The party is really there. Okay. Whew, this is good. Oh, Katie's here. Yay, there's Katie. I wasn't even looking at the screen. Yay, hi, Katie. Oh my gosh, my heart is so full tonight. All right, guys, we'll take any extra dialogue over to the team page because I don't want to run out of time. Love you guys. Have a fabulous Monday evening, and we'll talk soon.